hood, falling out the hood, falling getting money like a real one should. I'ma take a sip, get a little lit back in a bit, meditate, I think I should. No, we ain't friends, got me on 10.
Well, that fucking sucked. That game, okay. So far, for these recap reactions, I've been saying this whole season, I've been like, you know what, let's just see what happens, okay? Let's see how this team does. The first game, they lose. I like the energy, I like the performance, I like the forward core, I think things are looking good. Not bothered by the loss. I'm like, let's see them do that again. They're going to win a lot of hockey games, like Rick Bone has said in his after-the-game comments. Game 2 rolls around. Jets win. It's a great team win. Things look good. They're looking poised. It's exactly what we saw in Game 1. In Game 2, it's exactly what you want to see. Like I said, you can't really judge a team early on, but for the first, 10 to 12 games, I think that's a good area to kind of look and see how the season will track and eventually, what it'll lead to. Both games, the Jets so far this season, in a preseason game and then in this early season, have had an injury early on in the first period. Ville Heinola in the preseason, and now Gabriel Vilardi in this third game of this season. Every time that's happened and those guys leave, the energy just drops and they quit. So far, the big thing I'm taking away from this team from the preseason and early on right now after watching two guys go down is when there is a obstacle that comes towards this team, an injury, whatever it is, they don't have any fight to get around it. That's what tonight exactly was, because the first period of this game, I liked it for the most part. The first 5 minutes, it wasn't bad. Vilardi goes down. He limps off, not being able to put any pressure on that knee. Things look bad. He's probably going to be out for a while, I'd imagine. And what do you know? The Jets start to fade away for the rest of that first period. They don't get scored on. It's 0-0 leaving it, so you still think that there's going to be chance. Maybe they'll be able to figure things out. But no. Pierre-Luc Dubois, or should I say PL Dubois, of course, he kicks things off in the second period. And then that's the entire theme of this game after that. A low attendance to begin with. Boos all around for Dubois in the first period. You lose Vilardi. Everything gets shaken up, and the team just quits, and they fall flat on their face. 5-0 pretty much was this game. That Mark Scheifele goal shouldn't even count because it makes this team... It should have been a shutout. It was bad. Tonight was a bad game. Now, I'm not going to rip this team apart and say that it's all over, but so far, I'm not going to lie. When I've seen resilience, there's no resilience in this team. They're not fighting through anything. They just quit after the energy. They're like, oh crap, we lost one of our top forwards. Well, we'll get him next one. That's literally what it felt like for me. The energy just dropped off, and then they just showed no fight. Where have we seen this before? It's just, I know it's early on, and it just sucks. Everything about this game tonight just was concerning. A 5-1 loss, bad attendance, just empty, and a Pierre-Luc Dubois return game. Like this should have been a bigger crowd. This should have been a bigger attendance, and it wasn't. Now, again, I don't blame fans for not going to this game. I understand how the economy is. I know how True North is marketing their prices right now. And to everyone saying that, the Jets have the cheapest tickets in Canada, that might be true right now. But look around at the way Winnipeg is structured. If I'm not mistaken, only 4% of their season ticket holders are businesses. Everything else is independent. So when the team is playing like shit last year, True North comes out and puts out an ad in the playoff time right during the whiteout that if you don't come out and support this team, they might leave again. And then to start this year, ticket prices are still exorbitant in an economy, in a bubble that really can't afford it. And you're starting to see that effect of it. Tonight's energy wasn't there. The Kings took advantage of it. Dubois started things off. And the moment that Dubois got that goal in, I knew that tonight was not going to be a good night for the Winnipeg Jets, because you could just tell the way the building was booing him, the way the fans were acting, about every time he touched the puck in that first period. You got that sense that, okay, maybe the Jets can get some fight, have some energy. You didn't see any of that tonight. 5-0 pretty much, like I said. The no line just killed tonight. And the Jets just were embarrassing. It sucks. Again, I'm not going to sit here and just scream my head off and, blah, 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 because it's not, practical right now to really do that when you look at, how early we are in this season. But again, you have this idea that the Jets can be good as fans. I feel like a lot of us had this right now at this point in the season. And then this Vilardi injury happens. The team just quits after it. They lose 5-1 in PL's return to Winnipeg. Everything about this game sucked. Low, like I said, it's just low. It's crazy. Like, it's just so frustrating that already early on, a lot of my, worries going into the season, all of them came in this game, and it was a player return game as well, which always just, is the icing on the cake, in my opinion. Like, if I'm Kevin Cheveldayoff, you have to get on the phone now and try to make that Connor Garland acquisition. He's got term. He seems like a guy that doesn't want to be living in a big city, so Winnipeg might be the perfect fit for him. He's more of that, desert, outdoorsy type guy, so bring him in, and I don't know. I'm just trying to find some hope, something to grasp onto right now, because tonight was just not it. And the first game, like I said, they lose. They were able to do a lot of good things, so I didn't care. The second game, they win. Third game, they shit the bed. Like what else do you want me to say? Like, that's exactly what tonight was. No resiliency, no fight back, and they just pissed it away. Like 29 minutes in penalties tonight compared to the 17. I know there's a lot of stuff going on. Only 9 block shots compared to the 17 block shots the Kings had. Like, everything about the Kings game tonight was just dominance in containing the Winnipeg Jets. They executed their game plan perfectly, and the Jets were able to do nothing to get around it. And that sucks, because I've seen this be a problem with the identity of this team for a very long time. Is when the going gets tough, you just dump and chase. And that's exactly what tonight was for a lot of it. It's just not good hockey. Lazy hockey. And frustrating hockey, to be completely fair. The Jets just ended up getting frustrated and lazy, like we've seen time and time again, and they pissed this game away. 5-0 loss is the way it should be. I know there's a 1 there, but I don't even want to acknowledge that Scheifele goal. Unless you're having Scheifele, Nemelo, or Nemestikov in fantasy right now, you're the only person that should be acknowledging that goal, because other than that, if you're a fan, losing 5-0 would have been better for this team. Also, if I'm Rick Bowness, Brendan Dillon, you're out for Logan Stanley next game. Nate Schmidt, you're out for Declan Chisholm next game. Send a goddamn message. This team has potential still. Like I said early on, the defense is going to be the absolute crutch of this team. It is going to weaken them so much if they cannot continue to improve, and I don't think they will, because let's be real, Brendan Dillon's going to be Brendan Dillon, and Nate Schmidt's only regressing. You need to figure out a way to improve the D-line. I know Villy is coming back from injuries near Christmas time. That'll be good for the later half of the season, don't get me wrong, if he's able to, maintain where he was in the preseason and grow on that, but I don't know. I want Connor Garland on this team. I think the Jets need to look at the defense as well. Kind of look around the market. If any defenders become available and the Jets have the assets that they're looking for on that side and the prospects, I think you have to make that move. You can't say you're trying to win a Stanley Cup and sell that message to fans, attendance being low, and then ice this lineup that's not effective so far. Nate Schmidt's been ass in every game so far to start this year, and I know what you're thinking. He didn't play preseason, Peg. Why are you getting so angry at him? Doesn't matter that he didn't play preseason. He has been awful in every game. He has not improved. If you are judging the first 3 games of this season as his preseason, then he's got 6 games of preseason hockey. That's what it was this year. So we're at game 3 of Nate Schmidt. He's not improved at all so far. So imagine putting that in the preseason perspective. You wouldn't want him playing on this team if Ville Heinola or Declan Chisholm, for that matter, with the way they were playing without playing him. It's the exact same thing now. You gotta get them out. You got to do a little shake-up to this lineup right now. Get some youth in there. Just who cares? Do something to send a message to the older guys, especially on the defensive side, that this shit's unacceptable. I trust Bowness to do the right thing when it comes to that. But again, this organization just they seem to always choose the hard road. They never go with the easy, thing. Okay, we lost this game. These guys were bad. Bench these guys. Let's go with this, because that's just what you do in sports. It's about sending a message and getting this team playing well again. These are multi-million-dollar athletes. They are babies. Like, don't get me wrong. A lot of these guys are, but Nate Schmidt and Brendan Dillon, they were never elite players. They've always had that as a potentially thing for them, that they could get scratched, blah blah blah, whatever, right? So send that message. Older guys have that happen too. It's not being a dick. It's not like you're scratching this guy in the midst of an Ironman streak, or he's 1 away from like a milestone games played. Who cares? Just send the message. It's game 4 of 82 games. I'm pretty sure you can send a message early on, be like, hey, that shit was unacceptable. You're out. We're putting the young guys in, and it could get worse for you. Because tonight was just awful. And again, I know I'm blaming the defense a lot, but the veterans up front were too. And the no resilience and fighting. Tonight was just terrible. Games like this just make me angry, because it's just frustrating hockey. And I know the Jets can be better than this, but again, we've just seen this from time and time again of this wave of not being able to have anything consistent, and it's exactly what the first 3 games of the season has been. Game 1, they lose, have some good moments with the forward core, defense is shaky, but you want to see something improve from that. Game 2, defense is improved, forward core is doing what they did in Game 1, they win, things look good. Game 3, both of the forward core and the defensive core shit the bed, they lose in a blowout to 5-1 to the Kings, and now here we are again. What's next? Now you have to have a comeback game. Now you have to have a pushback game. We've seen that time and again. Maybe the Jets get lucky and they get a couple wins off that, but they need to find a way to maintain some consistency. And I know it's early on, but if they ain't able to figure it out now, they're not going to be able to figure it out later, and this season will be a write-off, just like it was a couple years ago when they missed the playoffs before last year. And I don't want that again. I don't want a year of the Jets being mediocre as shit, the entire year, and then missing the playoffs. At least last year, up until January, like usual, they were a pretty good, fun hockey team. And at least I'd like to watch some fun hockey games for at least a month or 2 during these cold months. So that's all I ask for. It's all I want. So let me know your thoughts about this game down in the comment section below. Let me know what you think Rick Bowness should do to send a message to some of these veterans that this play is unacceptable. If you disagree with me on that entirely, let me know down in the comment section below as well. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram and check out all the affiliate links down in the description below. Have a great rest of your evening. Go Jets, go. I will see you guys in the next one very soon. We're going to be making a video talking about the attendance stuff soon, so stay on the lookout for that. It's going to be an interesting conversation, to say the least. So with that being said, peace, love, and positivity as always. Go Jets, go. And I will see you guys in the next one very, very soon.